What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Star Wars Catalyst by James Luceno. So this is a prequel to Rogue One, and I read it because my friend read it and she was like, oh my god, Lyra, I totally stan her now and I totally needed to read this book because of that. And I will say what I loved about this book were the quiet moments with Galen and Lyra Urso, with their daughter Jen, just kind of seeing like how they were going about their lives. This is a story that takes place during the war, during the early days of the Empire, and just kind of how that's impacting them. We do get to learn a lot about Galen and his research, and we get to see his relationship with Lyra and his early relationship with Jen and how much he loved his family and just how exactly he operated, and I really liked those moments. But for the most part, this is a book that does a lot of world building for very early Empire days. This book starts while the Clone Wars are still going on. They end about halfway through this book, and what this is really about is the construction of the Death Star and how Orson Krennic is tricking Galen into working for him, because Galen is conducting research to hopefully bring affordable energy to war-torn planets and just to people who need it, and he does not want to take a side. Him and Lyra do not take sides. They're trying to work independently. They just want to use this research and do something good with it. But of course, Orson Krennic has other ideas. They were friends in college. He knows that Galen is extremely smart. He knows that his research with crystals, his research with learning how to harness this energy is going to be the key to get the Death Star to work, to get this amazing super laser to work. But he also knows that he has to be strategic, because there's no way he can just ask Galen and then Galen will suddenly weaponize his research. Oh no, he's got to be sneaky, he's got to be underhanded, he's got to lie, he's got to figure out how to work behind his back and to get this to work in his favor. And I do think we get a lot more from Krennic. I think we get to learn a lot about him. Does it add to the overall Rogue One story? I'm gonna say not really. I don't really think you need this book in order to enhance Rogue One. If anything, this book is good because it does give you a lot of world building. You do get to see how the Empire is exploiting worlds for their resources. You get to see a little bit into like how the politics are working and that kind of stuff. You do get some interesting things as well about the Jedi, and like I said, Lyra is super, super cool. Like, I totally stan her now. She's awesome. If I were to rewrite this book, because let me tell you, this is entirely a personal preference. This has nothing to do with the way that this book is written. It's very well written, it's very well done, but it is very plot heavy. It is very like, this is the story and we're just learning these things and we're just seeing how these characters are working within this world. But okay, if I got to like decide how this prequel was going to be, I would have it be character driven and told entirely from Lyra's perspective, and just seeing her watch as her husband is exploited, because she does learn how these things happen. She does start to see how like the cracks are appearing, and she starts to figure things out, and she starts to try to help Galen come back from it. And I really wish that this could have been like her story of how she was helping him and how they escape from the Empire and how they get away, because she has all of these cool opinions about the Jedi and the Force, and I love her relationship with Jen, and I love how she thinks about Galen, and I wish it could have been told just from more of her perspective. I feel like that would have made me a little bit more emotionally invested. I feel like that would have made this story have a little bit more weight, because as it is, there's a lot of technobabble. There is a lot of like how the politics are working and how the construction of the Death Star is going on, and it's just, there's a lot of technobabble. It's very boring. I did start skimming it towards the end, but the small character moments are really, really good. Again, that is a like personal preference. I know that some people will probably really like to hear about the construction of the Death Star, will probably really like to see like this little internal like struggling conflict like with this burgeoning rebellion that's starting to rise within this book. But as far as do you need it for Rogue One, I would say probably not. I would say that you can definitely just watch the movie and you're fine. Did this enhance my opinion of Rogue One? Not really. I still really like that movie. I don't really feel like I got anything new from it, but I am glad to have read it because it is a cute read and it is pretty interesting. So I am giving this book a C+. It's very well written, it's very interesting. It's not necessarily my type of book. I probably wouldn't have read it if it wasn't a Star Wars book, but I don't know, you might still find some interesting little tidbits in it if this is more your speed. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for you today, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!